Hello everyone. Today we are going to talk about Salesforce workflows, process builder, flow builder, and triggers. There's always this question about these automation tools, about when to use what. So let's go over one by one, and then we will see when they can be used. So workflows. Workflows is the simplest automation tool that is provided in Salesforce. There are only 4 things that you can achieve in a workflow. You can create tasks, you can send emails, update a field in an object that trigger the workflow, and we can send outbound messages. We can do only these 4. So workflows can be invoked when an object is created or edited, or it can be based on a time-based trigger. This is a sample workflow where when an opportunity having value greater than USD 10,000 is created, then an email is sent. So this is the immediate action that happens. We can also add a time-based trigger if we want to, but right now it's just immediate workflow actions here. A process builder. A process builder gives us much more than workflows. So we can create records, can update or delete records, we can make a call to a quick action, we can invoke another process, launch another flow, send an email alert, custom notifications, we can post to chatter, submit records for approval, call Apex methods. So there is so much that can be achieved by a process builder. Process builder can also be invoked by multiple ways. One is when an object is created or edited, or when a platform event message is received. Also, a process can be invoked from another process. One thing is process builder does not support outbound messages. But we can always call an Apex method which can make an API call to an outbound API. Process. This is a sample process that is created using process builder. So if you see here, we have this opportunity. Whenever this is created or edited, then we have some conditions that we check. And based on these conditions, we have immediate actions and we have some scheduled actions. One example of a scheduled action is something like create a task just 2 days before the expiry of an opportunity. So let's go to flow builder. So flow builder, using flow builder we can build flows, and flows are mainly used for, or flows give us much more control over the logic, and also when a task needs to be executed. It's kind of parallel to a programming language where you have looping, you have decisions, you have assignment, you can fetch data. We have all those things in flow, but it's all configurable. So in flows we have elements, connectors, and resources. Elements are the ones like this: decisions, loops, create records, get records, assignment, all these. Connectors are basically they connect the nodes. They also give us the possible outcomes from a particular node. Then we have resources. Resources are a way to save information, store information which can be used within that flow. So a flow offers a lot more flexibility. You can achieve a lot more using a flow. It's parallel to a programming environment, programming language, as I said. And flows can be invoked multiple ways. One is, let's say if you want to do something via screen, right? It's easy to create a flow, and then on click of a button you can trigger a flow. You can collect information using screen elements on flow. So you can collect information using a form and then use that information for the flows. Then you have scheduled trigger flows, which runs based on a time trigger. We have auto launch flows that can be launched from process or based on a platform event or from Apex. We have record trigger flows. Whenever a record is created or edited, then the flow runs. So let's go and take a look at a sample flow. So this is a sample flow where we have the flow starts here, then we have this assignment, then we have these screens where we collect some information about the customer, then we kind of use the get records to get information about the contact, then we check if the contact exists. If the contact exists, then there is one branch where there is some assignment happening, then another screen to get case details, and the case gets created. If the contact does not exist, then they go and create a contact, and then there is one more branch from there. So we can see that we have a lot of logic and branching that can happen in the flow, which is not possible in a process builder or in a workflow. So I just want to add that it just gives us more flexibility. Coming to triggers. Triggers are part of the Apex programming language. So if there is something custom that you want to achieve which you cannot do with the help of workflows or process builder or flow builder, then I would suggest to go with triggers. So, but you should know the Apex programming language for it. Triggers are run or they are invoked whenever a record gets inserted, updated, deleted, merged, when an upsert or undelete happens. Then there is this before trigger and after trigger, where if it's a before trigger, it runs before an update or insert, kind of that. If it's an after trigger, then it runs after an update or insert or delete. There are a lot of things which you can perform inside a trigger. Like you can make an SOQL query to fetch information about objects, use that information, loop through it. Then you can make DML statements like insert, update, delete on the records. You can call Apex methods. You can perform validations. So apart from the screen validations, let's say when a record is saved, you want to add more validations. Yes, that can be done. And we can make asynchronous callouts. So let's go and take a look at a sample trigger. So here this trigger is called the opportunity trigger. So what this does is it runs after an update or after an insert, and we just create a list of leads. It's an empty list called leads to update. Now we just loop over the opportunities that caused this trigger to run. We go over every opportunity. We check if the stage is closed one and if the stage was changed just now, and we get the customer email from the opportunity, and we fetch the leads which have this customer email, and then for each lead we check their status. If the lead is not close converted, then we change the status to close converted. Now all these updated leads we add to this leads to update list, and at the end we make one update to the database with all the leads in the list. So this is just an example of a simple trigger. So finally, the summary. So we have seen about workflows, process builder, flow builder, and triggers. Workflows. Use workflows when it just suits your need. If you can just create a task, or if you want to just send an email or update a record, just go with workflows because it's very simple. Use process builder if you want to achieve something which is not possible by a workflow, like posting to chatter, submitting a record for approval, sending notifications, triggering a process or a flow, or invoking Apex. Flow builder, use it if you are familiar with any programming language, because it has these programming language constructs, and if you want more control over the logic and the actions, it's still configurable, so you can just use drag and drop and configure it. So flows is more complex than a process builder or a workflow, but it just I would say it just gives you more control. Then use triggers if you cannot achieve via any of the previous methods, plus you know the Apex programming language, or if you have a developer with the Apex knowledge. So that's it. Thank you for your time. Hope to see you in another session. Bye bye.